story of the Danube Delta begins to be written there where it springs to cross the old European continent like a vital thoroughfare to the place where, tired of keeping the water in a single riverbed, it gives in to the irresistible call of the sea, the Black Sea. The history of the Delta collects the individual histories of all the countries crossed by the Danube, no fewer than 10. The natural paradise of the Delta lies at the mouth of the Danube in the Black Sea, where the river concludes its 2,860-kilometer-long journey from its spring in the Black Forest Mountains in Germany. For thousands of years, the area of the delta has constantly increased, much like a living organism, forming an expanse of land embroidered with canals, lakes, reed isles, tropical-looking woods, pastures and sand dunes. What a true blessing it is for Romania, the country where the Danube concludes its long journey. One of the most complex deltas in the world, with its fascinatingly diverse ecosystems, a living museum of biodiversity, the Danube Delta can be said to constitute a natural gene bank invaluable for mankind. Over time, the Danube Delta has received national and international recognition on several occasions. In 1930, the passion and persistence of several Romanian naturalists helped set up the Leta National Park, and in 1940, the Roșca Buhaiova Reserve. The two ecosystems made their way in 1970 onto the worldwide list of biosphere reserves, including 177 reserves around the world, as part of the Man and Biosphere program. The changes caused by the 1989 events in the Romanian society reminded people of and highlighted the amazing world of the Danube Delta. For the first time ever, the economic interest was subordinated to the science and the protection of the Delta. In 1990, a year of maximum openness in southeastern Europe, on a recommendation from the International Union for the Conservation of Nature, the Romanian government declared it the Danube Delta Biosphere Reserve. For the first time ever, the Razim-Sinoe Lagoon Complex, the Sărături Murighiol Lake, the Isaccea-Tulcea Lake Complex, the Danube riverbed between Cotul Pisicii and Cealalul Chiliei, as well as the coastal marine waters up to the 20-meter isobath, were united, which amounted to a total area of 580,000 hectares. 2 years later, the reserve structure, the method of administration, the protection and the ecological reconstruction of certain damaged areas were established. Furthermore, the concept of biosphere reserve does not exclude man and, instead, integrates man seamlessly. The partnership between economy, conservation and protection was being set in motion. 1990 also saw the inclusion of the Delta in the international network of biosphere reserves within the Man and Biosphere UNESCO program, as the Delta was declared a wetland of international importance. Another year, another step. The Delta was featured on the Ramsar Convention list as a waterfowl habitat, and half of the reserve area was recognized as part of the universal natural heritage. The specificity of the Danube Delta Biosphere Reserve, entirely declared a Natura 2000 site, and defined as a site of community importance, as well as a special bird protection area, makes it unique not only in Europe, but also among the delta ecosystems around the world. The European Diploma of Protected Areas, awarded to the Danube Delta Biosphere Reserve in 2000, and renewed in 2005 and 2010, is one of the most prestigious awards in all of Europe. Life on the delta levees involves, among numerous risks, the risk of almost complete isolation, along with the difficulty of getting there on one branch of the Danube or the other, where visitors ensure a connection with the rest of the country. On the total area of 4,178 square kilometers of the Danube Delta, of which 82% is in Romania and 18% in the Ukraine, there live together in the vicinity of egrets rather than of concrete jungles, Romanian, Lipovans and the Ukrainians. Known as a genuine haven, a haven for birds throughout the seasons, the Delta displays some of the most lavish shows that nature can offer. The inhabitants of this land, the less than 15,000 people living in the Delta, are themselves undeciphered books, hiding destinies not yet entirely known. Alongside the geography, water, vegetation and fauna, these people have built settlements, which are always ready to greet enthusiasts in love with the pristine and mysterious nature found here. According to the researchers, and who are we to say otherwise, Sfântul Gheorghe, St. George, is the first of the three branches of the Danube, formed thousands of years ago. Sulina is also the most right-bound branch of the Danube, nicknamed the Delta Boulevard, as it is here that vessels under all flags could sail upstream or downstream and back. The third, but not last, branch is Chilia, which also borders on the most populated rural settlement of the Danube Delta, called Chilia Veche. The wonderful natural habitats formed here offer favourable living conditions for an impressive number of plants and animals. Reed forms here one of the vastest masses of land, and the Letea and Karaorman woods are shelter to some of the rarest species of oak, common to the south of the Italian and the Balkan peninsulas. One of the largest deltas in Europe also includes some of the least disturbed wetlands on the continent. The chain of habitats developed here accommodates over 7,400 species of flora and fauna, of which 2,383 species of flora and 4,029 species of fauna. In this huge temple of tranquility, water in infinite flow, which we simply refer to as the Delta, birds have a special place. Of the 341 species, 171 are assessed to be brooding birds, since non-brooding ones are guests in winter and during their passage in spring and autumn. This is also home to the largest European population of the great white pelican, the Dalmatian pelican, and 60% of the world's population of pygmy cormorant. There are also major colonies of spoonbill and several nesting species of white-tailed eagle, as well as species of ducks, white storks, and birds of prey. Naturally, fish in the delta is actually the largest population. You find it in the lakes and canals, and it makes for a challenging encounter for fishing enthusiasts. The local cuisine, both diverse and exquisite, famous for the fish broths, offers unforgettable gastronomic experiences. With the temperate continental climate and the lowest cloud levels in the country, the Danube Delta has 70 days of clear skies a year. The archaeological remains, the historical, architectural and artistic monuments, the museums and cultural sites, in short, the life of the communities, complete the complex universe of the natural tourist wealth of the Danube Delta. In the words of the London-based journalist Louis Dupree, after an unforgettable stay here, the Delta, immense peace, infinite peace, a vast expanse of water and reed, vast and refreshing, and inspiring perfect tranquility and calm. In this vast oasis of tranquility, within the reserve, 24 tourist trails have been established, of which 15 are naval and 9 are hiking trails. As for the rest and relaxation stays, information tourism, specialized itinerant tourism, scientific tourism, special youth programs, rural tourism, spa tourism, bird watching, sports fishing trips, kayak delta exploration, visits to the villages, traditional meals, these are all on offer to cater for anyone from any corner of the world. Endless maze around every hidden corner, life pulsates continuously. It is quite the challenge to understand or dare penetrate its laws and the mysteries of every living creature, no matter how small and insignificant it may be. 2015 is an anniversary year. The Danube Delta Biosphere Reserve Administration celebrates 25 years since its establishment. The 1st of September has been the Danube Delta Biosphere Reserve Day since 2008. The Danube Delta, a genuine sanctuary of nature and perhaps the last one to be this alive and young on the old continent, always attracts people who admire its mysterious beauty and its paradoxes. This generous place indeed invites you to pay attention and show care and respect.